I found myself shooting a bunch of flat lays recently. I think it is very exciting in a way that you have to mix and match different items to make it look good and then throw in some props that completes the story of the image that you want to put out. I then realized that I wanted to have different background or backdrop options. So I checked Amazon to see what they have for backdrop vinyls for sale. Also went to Pinterest for some inspiration. Checked some videos on YouTube for some ideas, which then led me to a DIY video where you can make your own backdrop, which sort of inspired me to do one myself. I'll have that video linked down at the bottom. So in today's video, I want to quickly show you guys how I went and created my own backdrop and show you a sample photo that I took with it. So I went to Home Depot, got myself 2 pieces of 24x48 MDF boards, some black and white paint that we'll be using for the backdrop that we're working on. Luckily, I have some extra hands that'll be helping me with this.
This is fine.
To start with, we just had to paint the whole board black as the base layer. Once the base layer dried up, I mixed the black and white paint for us to create the first layer of texture. We want it lighter than the base paint, that's why we added a bit of white paint on it. To create that texture, I used some old cloth, cut it into strips, folded the strips randomly. We then just dab it in the paint and onto the surface. This is good since there's really no pattern that we're following. The more unintentional it is, the better the patterns will be. Once the first layer of texture is done, I made sure that not the whole base layer is covered. We want the black to still kinda show up a bit and leave it to dry for about an hour. The next step would be adding the second layer of texture. For this, I just threw some paint around and started dapping it again, but this time, it will leave some nice lines around the board. Now that we're done with the second layer, we now add the last layer of texture. We want more randomness across the backdrop itself. So to achieve this, I started dipping the cloth in the paint and kinda slapped it and threw it around the board. Leave it to dry for about half an hour and you should be all set. Technically, we can add as many layers of texture as we want, but I think the 3 layers that we did is more than enough already. So what do you guys think? I hope you find this useful. I'm also planning on making some more backdrops in the future, maybe using different kind of materials. So if you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, give me a follow on Instagram. That's where you'll mostly see all these flatlay photos in action anyway. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Hope you guys take care and I'll catch you on the next one.